cancer survivors in the United States. I am proud and happy to. And this relentless rain has really affected people's ability to get around. We're hearing some places has water as deep as 10 inches. Of course, the water that gushes over the roadways makes it dangerous for drivers. We've seen some residents here wandering out into the roadway looking to just see how deep it goes. And just a few feet from me, it drops off. It's crunchy. It's so wet, but it's still so crunchy, and you can still smell the fire here. I just finished the impact race. It's about a quarter of a mile around. I'm sweaty, I'm winded, but we made it through and I passed. Well, amidst the chaos this holiday season, it's a time for generosity and a time to say thank you. Also synonymous with the season, delicious treats. A group of Great Falls students went beyond the baked goods for those behind the badge. And Ted, I have Samantha on my team now, by the way, team showdare.org. Oh, did you see that? Do that into the camera. Bring it on, Ted. Can you tell him to bring it on?
Bring it on, Ted.
A lot of locals, a lot of Great Falls residents here for the rally, whether they are supporters of Trump or here for the historic value of seeing a sitting president in Great Falls, Montana. He is on his way here right now. Senator Daines on Air Force One with President Trump earlier today. Chief political reporter Mike Dennison spoke with Senator Daines on Air Force One. He is just returning from Russia, and Mike, it will be interesting to hear if the president references Daines' recent trip to Russia at all. Hey, Tim, it is tough enough to wear pink night at the Montana State Fair and the Big Sky Pro Rodeo. This night is all about raising awareness and funds to fight the terrible disease that is breast cancer.
So what is Calumet actually saying about today's events? Are they giving the community a little bit of reassurance?
So what they did say around 2:40 this afternoon, they released a statement saying, again, that all personnel were accounted for. There were no injuries. Like you mentioned, huge sigh of relief there to know that for sure from the inside that no one was injured. And beyond that, they said they're investigating. We don't know a cause of this yet. That's under investigation, the explosion. We hope to get more updates as we go throughout the night and into tomorrow morning. We don't know right now what the status is of the workday tomorrow or even overnight for the refinery. So again, what they're saying right now is ensuring everyone that no one was injured and that they are looking into the cause of this explosion. Shortly before 10 o'clock Thursday night, Great Falls police were called to this apartment building behind me. It's in the 4200 block of Central Avenue for a report of a physical altercation between a man and a woman. You can vote right now. Here's how to do it. You go to krtv.com and you find this article, scroll to the bottom here, and this link here will take you to the CBS page. You scroll and find the Great Falls Police Department and hit vote now, and it lets you vote as many times as you want. We're at the Medicine River fishing access site in Sun River. Water just gushing all the way down. You can see the signs far out there, and just a couple of feet from me is where it drops off, and we're not even on the section of where the road would normally be to turn to get to that fishing access site. Now, Fish, Wildlife and Parks has put up some gates at those closed fishing access sites. Those will remain closed until the Sun River recedes more and they deem it safe for people. We want to address what a lot of people are talking about tonight, Brandon, and that's the fact that it seems like the smoke and the smell of smoke has gotten a lot worse just in the last few hours. We've talked about air quality this week. Just seems to be a lot worse tonight. There is a reason Tom is wearing an ugly Christmas sweater. But first, before we tell them why, show them what it does.
Check this out.
The Great Falls Police Department's drone program took off in the fall of 2017. It's not a toy, but rather a tool used in specific cases. Since its inception, the drone has flown on 17 missions.
One of our main missions is crime scene documentation. And so when we have a significant crime scene, especially an outdoor one, we will use it to document those crime scenes. The other thing that we use it significantly for is different search and rescue missions.
The DJI Matrice 200 is equipped with a 4K camera and also uses a FLIR camera to see heat signatures at night. The $15,000 price tag, along with a lower cost backup and training drone, was paid for in full by the Great Falls Police Community Foundation.
So this shows you, this is the first person view, and you can see where the gimbal is facing.
Okay. Two people are involved in a drone mission, the pilot and the visual observer.
Maximum flight altitude reached.
The drone not only helps officers be more efficient by saving time, but it gives a whole new perspective on the world around them, providing safety for both officers and citizens.
It gives us the ability to get up above everything else. And whether we're doing a methodical search over a large area for an armed individual, it gives us the ability to oversee that and guide our folks on the ground safely, as safe as possible, in to secure these areas.
In this search and rescue scenario, the drone was used as an eye in the sky to help locate a person in the water long before the rescue boat.
There's no telling how long that would have taken if they had to do it from the boat, scanning it, 3 feet above the water, where we had him located in less than 30 seconds upon taking off.
So fly it forward towards us.
GFPD abides by all federal laws and FAA regulations when operating the drone, including contacting the Great Falls International Airport Tower, staying at 400 feet above the ground or lower, and keeping the drone within line of sight. They also notify Malmstrom Air Force Base helo operations and Benefice Mercy Flight, which get flight priority over the police drone.
We don't have any interest in making it even questionable whether or not we're violating somebody's rights. Everything that we do is reactionary. We're not out enforcing traffic laws. We're not out patrolling and arbitrarily flying it around and looking at things. It's not what we do. That's not, as a law enforcement agency, how we want to police in our community.
A new tool ready to fly for the right missions. In Great Falls, Shannon Newth, MTN News.
Hearing the word cancer is a life-altering moment, one that comes with a mix of emotions and often shock. As we wrap up October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I want to share with you my family's story. In early 2016, my mom was diagnosed with stage 3 triple-negative breast cancer. Prior to her diagnosis, we hadn't heard of this rarer and more aggressive form of cancer.
Disbelief, it's like, nah. There was a lump there in my breast. That's kind of how it all began. I discovered it myself. I had not felt it the previous month, and then it was there.
In February of 2016, Shannon Newth found something that wasn't right and called her doctor. That doctor's call was followed by a mammogram, a biopsy, and subsequent pathology report.
And it confirmed a diagnosis of the triple-negative breast cancer.
Triple-negative breast cancer is a cancer cell that does not respond to estrogen, progesterone, or another growth signal called HER2. And these cancer types are more difficult to deal with in the breast. We've learned over time that triple-negative breast cancer, even though we stage it, is more aggressive stage for stage. A very early stage triple-negative breast cancer can be a very lethal problem compared to a standard estrogen receptor positive breast cancer.
Now April, the cancer was thought to be stage 1, but it wouldn't stay that way for long. She met with her oncologist, who made a discovery, an enlarged lymph node in her armpit.
So from the time I first saw my primary care doctor, and she examined me and felt no node involvement, even the surgeon examined me and did not find a node at that time. So it spread to include the node fairly quickly.
A biopsy of the node confirmed it too was malignant, advancing the cancer to stage 3 and throwing a wrench into the previously planned out treatment process.
And at that point, we changed our approach. We are more frequently using chemotherapy as a first treatment for triple-negative breast cancer. This is unlike most other breast cancer stories where we really don't do chemotherapy initially.
And it's her pickling.
Oh yeah, you want to see my lovely?
She's so brave.
This is my battle armor.
Chemotherapy began quickly, and just as fast came the side effects and hair loss.
Drug allergies and reactions to chemotherapy that weren't even on the list of possible side effects.
Journeying through cancer was not new territory. Before Tawny was a patient, she was a caregiver. Her husband, my dad, Richard Newth, fought a brave battle with colorectal cancer, passing away in September of 2010.
It was all too vivid in my mind of what my husband had already gone through. It did impact my determination, I guess you might say, going into it, because he had gone before me and modeled what it meant to just take that next step every day.
She survived chemo. In October, she underwent a lumpectomy and surgery to remove multiple lymph nodes. November brought the start of radiation, which she wrapped up after Christmas with a special ceremony.
Such a time of celebration to get to ring that bell. It was kind of almost like the bell of freedom.
She was regaining her physical strength and growing back hair. Treatments were over, but the road to recovery and new life was just beginning, with a deeper appreciation for surviving what could have been a deadly disease.
There are things cancer can't take away from you, and you can choose your attitude about that. And when I shifted from looking at what it was taking away to what could I get from it, what I got, a whole different appreciation of life.
Now today also happens to be my mom's birthday, so happy birthday, Mom. You can find out more about triple-negative breast cancer by checking out this story on our website. There you can also hear more from Dr. Barton, as well as another triple-negative breast cancer survivor about that type of cancer and the science behind treating it. Cancer survivors in the United States. I am proud and happy to say that my mom is now one of those breast cancer survivors. She battled a very hard